All right. Okay, so what we got here? What we got here? So let's just say from the start what you actually put into this personal account on IC Markets, as you can see at the top left, right? So using IC Markets live account, none of these fake brokers. It's a real broker, right? Okay. So what did you start with on this account?
30K.
30K. Okay. And currently, what are we running on this account?
120K profits, so 170K equity.
And you've got 3 trades running on gold shorts from the top, right?
That's four.
Four. Okay,
Four.
four trades running. Okay. So right now you're at 125K running, let's just say, right? And it's just dumping more and more live. Yeah, you're seeing this live. And you said at one point you was running 250K already, right?
Yeah, on that week yesterday evening.
Damn. So 1970. Okay. 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 And your projected let's just say zone for taking your profit potentially is what?
I want to see a reaction on 1960.
Yeah.
That's my first
Okay.
stats that I want to look at. And then after that, if it actually breaks, well, all this is up for taking. Like maybe in 1930, which
Yeah.
would be a good profit. Yeah.
That's insane. So it's like, let's just say, right now we're about 1981 zone, right? Okay. If this hits 1963, let's just say, and you still haven't secured, but let's just say if it hits 1963,
Yes.
you're probably up about 500K, right?
Almost, yeah.
Ooh.
I think 300K more. So 480 up to 500, yeah, around that.
Yeah, that's just insane because when we look at people showing that they flip accounts on their own broker or fake brokers, and they're not doing this live in the flesh. And then you can see this is straight on IC Markets as well. So I think, like, yeah, people need to understand that there's levels to this game. There's levels to this game, but this is actually real. That's the difference. There's always going to be levels, but this is real shit that you see right here. But again, I mean, Pascali, like, obviously you want to give some advice, like, don't try this at home, right?
Definitely, yeah. If you don't want to lose a lot of money, yeah, don't do it.
Yeah,
And
but
it's not scalping, it's just positional. It's not just putting up any trade. So I entered the first trades here when I see this wick catching liquidity over 2K and then the denial. And that's where my first positions came in. And I basically want to hold it as long as I can.
okay. So, like you said, you're a position trader, right? So
Yeah,
when you're looking at these specific zones, are you also paying very close attention to what's happening in the news? And because I know you're quite heavy on fundamentals, right?
yeah. So I the plan is with the Israel situation fading out of the markets slowly, and we can see it over the past week here that all is more sideways right now and waiting and seeing, and all the push-ups over 2K are getting denied, and that's why I entered. And yeah, the Fed meeting yesterday shifted a bit of the position, but we can see more reaction to the US dollar than the gold itself. So I'm still very confident that it could go down on gold because we have a lot of room to go down in gold. US dollar might go down as well, but I think gold has more room to fall than the US dollar.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with gold over the years is that it's never really tied to any like correlation with another pair. I know people say, with the DXY, with USD JPY or whatever it may be, but sometimes gold genuinely does just become its own individual uncorrelated pair. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's an indicator of greed and fear. It's an indicator of um yeah, risk on, risk off. You
It's safe,
see it here
it's
first.
safe haven, right? Like essentially that's what it is.
Yes. Yes, and it's one of the highest in the ladder of safe haven. I mean, US dollar is also a safe haven. That's why we see this battle of the safe havens right now. And a lot of other pairs are losing against the US dollar, but gold is actually more of a safe haven than the US dollar. That's why we see this move up here with the Israel situation. And because a lot of people going into gold first, because if everything goes to shit, you have a ton of gold who is the fallback currency if everything is burning. The whole world is burning. And what we see over here over the last few weeks, also a lot of central banks are acquiring a lot of gold, especially Chinese ones, Russia. These are all acquiring gold on because what might come in the future.
Yeah, it's all like you said, just down to greed and fear, and then everyone just wants to get a piece of gold, thinking that it's just going to keep going up and up, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like with let's just say what's happening obviously right now in terms of news with Israel Palestine, would you say that like it's a very similar sort of pattern when let's just say COVID started, when the Russia Ukraine war started as well, or would you say there's a different pattern?
No, it's exactly the same. If you see this run up is exactly 2 weeks. If we go back um, um to to last year when Russia Ukraine started, it was this one here. This is where the Russia Ukraine war started last year in February 2020. And we also see the first 2 weeks a big run up in the fear of, oh, World War III is coming up. And after that, the market decides, oh, maybe it's not that bad in case of World War III. Then the whole fear is getting priced out again. And that's basically what I'm seeing right now and taking as a blueprint. So 2 weeks of most of high fear pricing in, and then right now it looks like it's more calmer, or it gets more calmer, and people don't pay attention on the news that much. It should get priced out fairly decently up to this level maybe.
Yeah, because with gold, a lot of people have been shouting about, oh, we're gonna make all-time highs, gold to the moon, da da da, right? But we can see clearly right now that gold is not trying to break the 2000 zone really at the moment, is it?
I mean, especially last year when the war and COVID was also right on the front, like, and interest rates are getting higher and higher. What more do you need for gold to rise? I mean, it's the perfect storm, especially here. So everyone talked about, oh, we break the 2070, and it never happened. And I don't see gold rallying to 2.2 or whatever in the short term, but maybe in the long term, you never know if something goes down very big and actually coming to a real big war. Think if China gets gets included at some point anywhere, this is another beast.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of like China and Russia are becoming best friends at the moment, and there's something cooking. Who knows, right? Something could be cooking. So yeah, I think we just have to wait and see really what happens because yeah, right now everything can happen right now. Let's just put it that way, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, your shorts are looking great, but we also don't know what could happen tomorrow. So tomorrow's NFP, right? So
yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Hoping for a good number.
I mean, if this just straight out dumps tomorrow, you've made anywhere from 500K to 1 million potentially if you just hold.
Yeah. And the downside is 30K, so
That's, well, to you that's absolutely nothing, but to the majority of people they haven't even got 30K in their bank account, man. So but yeah, this is amazing. I mean, I don't know, like what's your message to, let's just say, to some people. Of course, one is don't try this at home, but just in general, right? Like, so you're obviously 15 years skin in the game, you have a lot of experience,
generally,
you know?
if you see these numbers, okay, quite high and risk is super super high, but if you take this approach and do it with normal risk management, I think that's the better way of trading, because scalping won't bring you much. I think positional trading is much more, it's easier to execute in the long run. You have a clear picture, then you take it from there over 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. And if you go to crypto, how many crypto traders do you know who make millions? I don't know anyone, but I know a lot of whales that invest early or invest long term, and they are the big ones. They make the money. Also in stock markets, what big trader do you know? You only know big investors who buy for decades and just accumulate. You have a few traders, but this is also a positional trade. If you see the big short on the pound for example, it's a trade, but in the end, it's an investment over months. Yeah, so I think positional trading is bringing you clearer signals and more profits in the long run. Because if you turn the numbers down and put in 30K and do it with proper risk management and set the stops be above 20 or whatever, this is a pretty good trade in the end.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I mean, like, when I started, I used to be a swing trader. So for me, I can understand the approach that you're taking here. But of course, there's many people that just tend to scalp in the markets, or they want to be in and out of a trade within the same day, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of, let's just say, like a mindset shift, because I do believe that if you're a swing trader, your mindset is a bit different and your approach is different to how you're taking trades compared to somebody that's scalping or day trading, right? So for let's just say for someone that's never position traded before, or ever done swing trading in their life, what would you sort of, I don't want to say advice, but in a way, what would you recommend to them to try to learn or understand a bit more? Because it's very hard for a majority of traders to hold a trade longer than a day. They start to panic, they start getting stressed out, and all these emotions and fear and greed start to creep upon them, right? So what would your sort of recommendation to them be if they want to try and take that approach?
Well, the very first is delete any time frame below 1 hour or maybe 4 hour. And that's the biggest one, because then the picture is getting clearer and clearer, because you eliminate all the noise between. Because let's say, okay, 5 minute chart, you won't see anything that you can hold over a few hours or 1 or 2 days, because this is just up and down, and the wicks are crazy. But if you go to the 1 hour chart, oh, you see a double top, you see a head and shoulder forming right now, so maybe a breakdown. You see a lot more. If you go to the 4 hour, oh, you see a big run up. So you see much more if you go to the bigger picture and try to, and then you can take a very easy approach. You can trade off chart patterns like this one. You can do anything, but it's much more risk off, I think. That's the biggest one. Just take higher time frames.
Literally. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think what happens with a lot of people is that they overcomplicate not just their analysis, but also their approach on trading, right? Whereas you're showcasing live that literally all you've done is waited for the top, you see a clear head and shoulders pattern. You're looking at the, let's say, bigger time frames, higher time frames when it comes to your potential entry. And then you're just riding out the trade, because you've seen this many times before. You're probably going to see this again, who knows, in the coming years anyway, when gold does what it does, right?
Yep.
So I think ultimately, people just need to really understand how to approach their style of trading. But of course, if you're trying to swing, then always look at the higher time frames. Like for me personally, what I do is I always go top down. So I always look at the bigger time frames first to see, okay, what is my long-term bias in terms of, for example, with US 30, that trade, right? But then I'll break it down and I'll go into the lower time frames to see, okay, do I see this market actually having some big moves coming, for example, when there's certain news that comes out, or am I looking for a quick trade just because I want to be in and out because the market's choppy, for example, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you can see here with the gold chart, like we've seen a lot of choppiness already. Like we've seen the zones and we've seen it make a high, and now we're literally looking at a potential downtrend, right? So I think ultimately it just comes down to your style of trading, but you also need to stay calm throughout all of this, right? Like how do you manage your emotions when you're in trades like this? Like, of course, your situation might be different to others, right? Like 30K to them is like a year's salary. For you, it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
but take this trade with 3K and then do it with 0.1. You in the end you still will make money, but doesn't matter what the numbers are telling you.
Trade is the
It's
trade, right? Yeah.
it's approach, and for me, I never look at the numbers down here, how much I make. It's just, and I don't watch the chart very much. I have like, because I only look at the higher time frames. I know what I'm searching for like days before, and if I see the price touch a certain point, okay, I can enter the trade or leave it out. But it's much more calm trading because I don't see this kind of wicks where I get a heart attack if it moves up or down any second.
Yeah.
But on the higher time frame, I know, okay, I see this pattern and I just take my chance and enter it. And it comes every day or so. So I don't need to watch the chart at the whole time, the whole day. And that takes off a lot of pressure, definitely. And that's how you detach from the position itself.
Okay. So in terms of, if we just take this entry that you have here for the 4 trades, right? Did you pre-plan this trade where you like, okay, a few days before maybe or whatever it might have been, you were looking at the chart and you're like, okay, well, if it comes to this specific level, I'm gonna probably take the trade there. Did you wait for that,
Yeah.
or did you just go
So
on the charts and see something?
after this, after this trade up, which was early at night, um, right before the market closes, I knew, okay, let's see if it runs past the 2K, but it didn't. So this shows me there are a lot of sellers at 2K, and then I know, okay, if there's a retest of that level, I might take a trade because of what I saw is news of Israel situation are not as big anymore. We get a sideways move here. We have one more test of 2K here. Then I enter the trade here. But it could shoot up at any time after that. But we get this confirmation candle that 2K is denied again. A lot of sellers are here. So I'm very confident in these 2 trades, and I just write it down. And after that, when we get to the support and resistance zone here, like the same here, same levels, I just look at what price is doing. Does it push down very hard, or is it more sideways right now? And then I want to see the reaction to my levels, like this resistance level up here on 1990, which comes in hand with the 1 hour chart. And then I knew the whole days here. Okay, if it tests it, I might take another trade there, just because there are so much resistance levels, and I could just add on the position. But it's very high risk to add there. I usually don't like to add on an existing position, but on this specific market structure, it made sense to me. But it's super high risk. I usually don't want to do it. But yeah, I knew these 2 trades. I knew from this structure here. I knew I want to take these trades, and when price came up, I took it. Like a day or two before, I knew I want to do that. And these trades down here, I also knew once I saw the reaction to my support zone down here, that these would be levels I want to re-enter.
Yeah. So you literally
So yeah,
traded a break and retest in a way, right? Because you
yeah,
waited to come
yeah.
back to that same zone. That's cool, man. I think one important thing to highlight here as well, right, which you already have, is that only risk what you're willing to lose, you know? So like you said, it could be 3K. So if somebody's more comfortable with 3K and they're trying to, you know, do positional trading, then risk 3K. You know, don't think you have to have a large sum of money to make a large sum of money sometimes, right? There's people that are flipping accounts from 1 to 10K. It all really depends on how you're approaching your trading. So I think that's one thing to just cement is that don't focus on the monetary value, because if your trade is correct, you're going to make money either way,
Yep.
right? So that's one thing to focus
That's
on.
the main thing.
Yeah.
Because on these sizes, like 90% losing the money.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely, because it only takes a week up there and I'm done.
yeah,
And the whole picture could be right after all. But it's just I think it's a high risk trade, a super high risk trade, but chances are there for this high risk trade, and that's why I take it.
yeah. And I think one thing people should note as well is that you have 15 years in the game. 15 years, right? Majority of people that are trying to make money are 1 year in the game, 2 years, whatever it may be, and then they wonder why trading doesn't work for them yet, right? But as I'm sure you can tell the people, is that like if you really want to get good at trading, you need to just keep going no matter what, because losses is always going to be part of the game. In my experience, losses are what shape me to be a better trader. You know, whenever I've won, yeah, you learn something in that, but I feel like you learn more when you make the losses, because you know what you were doing wrong, or you can eventually learn from what you were doing wrong to correct those, to then become more profitable down the line.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to go through the pain to know what's going on and to actually think about um, why is that so painful to to have the loss.
So
Like
in other words,
otherwise, you will never know.
yeah, exactly. So in other words, you're saying that you should feel the pain, because without the pain, you wouldn't be where you are today, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
That's the secret
The
to go
secret is
through a
make
lot
sure
of
you can,
losses.
yeah, the secret is make sure you can take pain and you can take a lot of it for a long time.
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's it.
Well, I love that. I love that. And actually now after this, where you're running 160K now. Okay, well, you know, I mean, yeah, best of luck. Like if this hits a 500K or whatever it may be, we're gonna do another recap of this just to show the people that, you know,
Yeah,
you really do this and you do this live in the flesh. So
hopefully tonight.
well, hopefully tonight. But like you said, when you're a positional trader, you're very patient and calm, right? So we're gonna keep at
Yeah,
that. Whenever it hits, right? So that's the main thing, I think. But yeah, no, thanks, Pasquale. I think this is just a great way to just show people that this can be done, but of course, it's not something you're recommending, but yes, it can be done. And there's many different ways to approach trading. It's just whatever resonates with you the best. And of course, coming with that experience with the years in the game is very important, right?
absolutely.
Cool. Well,
That's it.
thanks for your time, Pasquale.
No problem. Pleasure.